Seems something through there. Just want to see if I can have a better look. But I think it could be... The sea is much darker than she is. Go ahead. Welcome again, Wiz. Great to hear you're on board with us again. And Wes wanting to know how many neck vertebrae are in the giraffe's neck. It's actually not as many as what you may think, a neck that size. But you can see it's not that flexible. You saw how he was holding his neck. I'm just going to move forward a little bit. We're going to be hidden behind the guari bush. And in actual fact, they have the same number of bones in their neck as what we do. And that is 7. If they had more neck vertebrae, I think they would have quite a hard time of keeping their neck upright as they do. I think they're going to come out into this open. Yeah. So I'm going to just try and see if we can get a clear view of this area, because I think they're going to come out that side. Hoping that's what they're going to do. And this youngster looks... Oh, they're going the other way. The youngster looks like he's going to come up across this side. So if I turn around, or half turn around, so that we can see when the youngster crosses in front here. It's just him behind the tree just here. There you go. But their neck vertebrae are just much larger than ours. But if you had more neck vertebrae, or if they had more neck vertebrae, then as I say, I think they would find it very difficult to keep that neck upright. And if you think about a swan, it has about 40 neck vertebrae, and it makes that really nice S-shaped curve in the neck. But obviously the head's not as big as a giraffe's head. I think the head would have to be much, much smaller for them to have that much neck vertebrae, and there's not really any reason for them to have more. These giraffes are moving into quite a thick bush at the back there. Oops. What was that about, little one? I just got spooked by something. That very loud bird that you heard calling was a black-headed oriole. It's not its normal call. You can see the parents coming out, or parent in the male. Can't really assume that this male is the father of the offspring. This giraffe is probably just around a year old. Okay, go ahead. Hi Scott, welcome on board to you, and you're watching for the first time. I hope you're enjoying a live safari from here in Sabi Sands in South Africa. I'm actually just going to try and move a little bit so we can get a chance to have a look at the giraffes again. And Scott, while we're doing that, I'll try and answer your question. You'd like to know, how did the giraffe get its name? Giraffe possibly comes from the Arabic word giraffe, which means swift one. And if you go into a little bit more detail, every animal and every plant has a Latin name. Is that okay there? And the Latin names help to determine, whoever you're talking to throughout the world, helps to determine exactly what animal that you're talking about or plant. Now, that may sound a little bit stupid because everyone knows what a giraffe looks like and what a giraffe is. But if you get into the creatures or even the subspecies of giraffe, or the creatures that have different local names, that's when the Latin names become a lot more important. So to make sure, if you're talking about a particular species, that particular species, wherever it is in the world, whether it's a worldwide animal or whether it's an endemic, which means that it's only found in one particular area. So whatever you're talking about, if you're talking about a specific animal, you know exactly what animal, regardless of what its German name is, its English name is, its French name, its Polish name, you know exactly what animal you're talking about. And for the giraffe, the Latin name, and there's two parts to the name. You have the genus and then the actual species. And you can go into a third part of the name, which is a subspecies. But for the giraffe that we're talking about here, there's Giraffe camelopardalis. Now if you break it down, giraffe possibly meaning swift one from the Arabic. If you break down the second part of the name, camelopardalis, camelo just means camel-like. And if you look at the appearance of the giraffe, it does look a bit like a camel. It's got the rubbery lips, just like a camel, and it almost looks like it has a hump on the back of its neck, which is the nuchal muscle, and that counterbalances the head. And it's also got the cloven hoof, just like a camel. So I'm going to continue further back. Actually, I think they are going into the thick bush. I think we're going to leave them to it, because they are going into very thick bush now. I'm going to continue on. So, there is another meaning to giraffe, which I have actually forgotten to mention. I forget which language, but I have also heard that giraffe can also mean pretty one. I forget which language that is from. Sorry, I'm just looking at these giraffes and they are focused on something, so I'm just going to try and see what it is they're looking at. They really are focused. All their attention is in one direction. Females especially. Excuse me, you can see them through there? And so how far we got? We got giraffe meaning pretty one or swift one, or swift-footed. Camelo meaning camel-like, and pardalis, which means spotted. And that is the translation of their Latin name. So you've got either a pretty spotted camel, or a swift-footed spotted camel. Even the male stopped and looked now. I wonder if there is something moving around, predator-wise. Now, they don't need to be worried too much if it's a leopard, but with it being a cat, it will be moving in the same way as lions, and that could be the cause to draw her attention if there is a leopard moving around. It could be some more giraffe. I have seen giraffe stop and stare and look in the same direction, especially if they're not giving an alarm call, but she's certainly interested in what's going on down there. I've seen them react to cheetah as well, much the same way, and I've actually seen them walk right up to cheetah. Again, cheetah aren't really capable of pulling down a giraffe. A leopard, maybe if it's a female with cubs who are learning to hunt, maybe they could pull down a baby giraffe. I really do doubt them being able to pull down a fully grown giraffe. But you can see her ears are forward. Baby's not really too fussed, but her ears are forward, her head is forward, and she is concentrating on one spot. But she's not signalling, she's not alarming at the moment. The male's walked off. Male really couldn't care less, which makes me wonder if it is really a predator or not. Go ahead.
Brian, come in.